Hey everybody, One of Weezem here. We just took a look at the Dive Bomber. I have a feeling my voice is about to go out, but we've got the massively heavy. I mean, this guy has honestly got to be at least twice the weight of the submarine. Dive Bomber is outweighed by Dive-Clops, which I guess you put the heavy dude in the submarine, it'll sink a little quicker or something. But this is Dive-Clops. He's a water element supercharger. He is, of course, brand new to the Skylanders franchise. And very cool looking character. The color scheme between these two characters is like perfect. You got some of the characters, you know, they sort of match, but like this is like, they planned this, man. It was color coordinated day for the water element or something. And that's kind of going to be cool to have them side by side out on display like that. So that said, there's our artwork. He's available at launch. Coming down here, Dive-Clops. Look out below is going to be his slogan. He is, of course, the water element, as I mentioned. And everybody in the Superchargers is a supercharger, at least so far. Now, right there, Super Shot Stealth Elf. Pair her with her vehicle, you get a supercharged combination, and that is what you see here with Hot Streak. So when we take Dive-Clops, we take Dive Bomber, they're on the portal together, we get the supercharged combination. Now, featured characters down here, Deep Dive Gilgrunt, gotta get that water element companion in there. You got Sharkshooter Terrafin, Nightfall, and Astro Blast. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, take a look at it if we can. Alright, now let me know something I guess we can discuss here. How do you feel about like the perfectly coordinated color scheme? Is that something that would frustrate you? Do you like everything to be unique? Is it something that you think, oh hey, that's cool, it's about time they do that. Why don't they do that more often? Is that the case? Is it something that's like, you know, I've never really even thought about that? Whatever it may be, leave your thoughts down below. But as you can see here, not taped to the plastic at all. And then when we get the figure up here, no tape there either. So here's our, let's go ahead and do this. This is our sticker sheet stat card. Again, I know I make the videos that the people that actually like the stat cards watch. So I feel for you, but we've got the artwork there and then the name tag. This is not a standalone sticker, but you could totally cut it out and use it as one. You can tape it, whatever you need to do. Me personally, it stays as is, and I slide it in a binder just like I did all of the stat cards in the past. So, power 175, armor 285, agility 100, luck 140. How does that compare with the in-game stats? Well, let's take a look. Max health box stock is 250, speed 35, armor 30, critical hit 40, elemental power 17.5. One of those was a lie. Let's see if you can figure out which one it was. That said, I like to wheel that back again, no tape at all at this point in time. And instead of grabbing him by the torpedo, well, I guess that worked. But I would not recommend grabbing him by the torpedo gun. For what it's worth, I applied like zero pressure. I think I just kind of like let go and he came out. But I like to work him loose by the base most of the time. Keyword most. But the good news is this guy is hardy. I mean, he's like a Skylander brick or something, made out of pure gold or something. Very, very heavy. Usually you have stuff like this, kind of like a Kirby amiibo or something. It's just like a hollow core and it's like, woo, you just throw it up in the air. Nope, this is heavy. And that's kind of cool, makes him unique. And again, he kind of looks heavy duty. It's kind of what you would expect from somebody doing this type of work. So right here you've got the Rift engine. This is our first look at a water element supercharger. Love the way the water cascades back there. It's almost like the Rift engine is, you know, propelling him forward and this is the wake of it or something. That's a pretty cool aesthetic that we're seeing for the first time. Speaking of that, there's our water element logo right there. You can see it on the base and then here again on the timing cover of our Rift engine. So here's Dive-Clops. If it looks like he's staring at you, it's because he is. He's got the follow you eyes. Not quite as creepy as when there's just one of them. But like Double Trouble way back in the day, he was always watching us. In fact, he's over there in the corner and he's looking at me now. And Royal Double Trouble too. Yeah. Series 2 Double Trouble has his back too, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, this is a great color scheme. It kind of lends credence sort of obviously to like submarine. It looks very marine oriented. If you've ever like been in a not a lot of water where I live, and I'm miles and miles from an ocean, but if you've ever been in like a pro shop type of a thing, anything nautical seems to be like white and blue, right? Or at least that's what I've seen. So it's a perfect color choice. And I'm sure if you have lakes or you live off on the Gulf Coast or, you know, by the sea or the ocean or whatever, you might be able to attest to that. But again, that bright green, it just pops. It works beautifully well with the white and the blue. The white and the blue together, honest to gosh, it's a pretty slick color combo, just on its own. The green, it's kind of like with Crypt Crusher. Black, red, silver, really sinister. You got the bone hands on it. And then you just throw in that teal color. And it works for some reason. That's not like, if you were drawing something or just throwing colors together, you wouldn't do that. You know, like HGTV, it's like splash of color. And you got like this house that's like painted up in, grays or earth tones or something, whatever they're trying to go for. And then on the front door, it's like pink or fuchsia or yellow. And they're like, oh, that's justifiable. It's a splash of color. It's like, what are you talking about? It doesn't match anything. The green is the splash of color, but it ties in beautifully and complements the blue and the white. So again, I'm a big fan of blue. That's why so many of my custom paints have my custom mixed legendary blue. This is very close to that. This is more of like a bright blue, not necessarily like a B5, but maybe like a B3, sort of like an icy blue metallic or something. That's a good name for it, I think. Icy blue metallic. We'll run with that. And he kind of looks like a snowball from certain angles. But again, that could be totally inaccurate if you played as a guy. I have not, so I'm just basing everything I see on my physical impressions. I like the knee pads here. I like the outline on the shoes. Looks like his pants are coming down there past it a little bit. This is almost like a jacket for racing, maybe for suppression of high pressures or something while he's diving down below. And then right here he's got more of the plating, and it kind of gives that like bolted or riveted C effect that you'd like to see or do see on that type of stuff. His shell itself kind of has that same look, sort of like you would expect on a submarine. Then he's got kind of the plating there, and then his face mask kind of looks like football. He's sort of got like the Charging Chuck vibe or something. And now we can get into the torpedo gun. So he's got right here kind of the green tip as you would expect. He's got the wheel on the back, which I don't quite know what that's for, but it's cool. Looks like there's a hatch here. This is all banded together with steel. That, I would assume, is the scope. And it looks like, the way they did it, it's almost like it's just like a valve and a pipe system. So it's very believable, something you'd see in like a control room, but it also then works here as a scope. For example, right now he's got his eyes on Fiesta. Or is it Frightful Fiesta? I don't know. Head to the Skylander Club Forum and vote. The loser gets blasted with torpedoes from Dive-Clops, right? Anyway, he does have a hyphen in his name for those of you wondering. And speaking of that, we should probably address his background story, should we not? Believe it or not, George isn't at home. No, sorry. Couldn't help myself. I'm tired. But, believe it or not, Dive-Clops is actually the twin brother of Eye-Brawl. Shock face, right? Who would have seen this? What similarity? I just don't see it. Do you? Mind-boggling, really. So he's the twin brother of Eye-Brawl. When he was young, his bat wings were blasted off by pirates while flying over the swirling sea, causing him to plunge into the abyss below. That's a sad Dive-Clops right there, right? Lost his bat wings. After rolling on the bottom for several days, he was discovered by an underwater civilization of jelly dwarves. They were instantly fascinated by the bizarre-looking eyeball and took him back to their coral castle, where they built him a magnificent dive suit, dun 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 dun, that would allow him to explore the depths of the sea. But everything changed when Dive-Clops decided to venture to the mysterious whirlpool of destiny deep within the ocean. As he got closer, he suddenly felt pulled by its immense power and re-emerged to discover that thousands of years had passed. Now, with his destiny before him as a member of the Skylanders, Dive-Clops lets the minions of chaos know that there are many dangers of the deep. So, I've got to ask, how many of you, when you get Dive-Clops, if you don't already have them, and you're sitting there playing with your siblings, your parents, your friends, whoever it may be, are you going to bust out Eye-Brawl and throw down with the brothers? There's no definitive, Where was Eye-Brawl when it happened? Why didn't he go to save him? Was he already a Skylander and wasn't there? Did he know about it? Did this happen before Eye-Brawl became a Skylander? The thousands of years, how does that impact? There's lots of unknowns there, but it's still pretty cool. We've got, I think for the first time in the history of Skylands, you got brothers here. So that's kind of a cool deal, right? At least I can't think of a scenario. Way back in the day, people would always say that Stealth Elf and Flameslinger were like brother and sister, but I never really exactly saw that anywhere official. So very similar play styles and very quick. They do look to be of the same species, but anyway, we have a definitive yes. Dive-Clops and Eye-Brawl, they're not cousins. One's not the uncle, nothing crazy like that. They're brothers, twin brothers at that. So pretty cool story there. But that is that, man. This is Dive-Clops. I am excited to get him in the game, see what he is all about, and of course his signature vehicle here, which this just has to be the most complimentary color scheme. I mean, they're like dressed to impress. It's like the first day of school, and here these guys go. They are decked out, and you're gonna easily be able to spot them when they come out of class on the first day, right? You're the parents dropping them off. So that's that. We'll see how they play Supercharged as well. So looking forward to getting this guy introduced. As always, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you back here for more Skylander SuperChargers unboxings.